Earlier this week, I posted a video about Cam Newton signing with the New England Patriots and made it a point that this was his final opportunity in the NFL to prove himself as a franchise-level quarterback. And I truly believe that. I really believe this is Cam Newton's last chance. We talk all the time on here about how the NFL is an unforgiving league. Careers, fast. Here today, gone tomorrow. Past accomplishments do not matter. Bill Belichick doesn't care that Cam Newton was MVP of the league back in 2015. He only cares what he can bring to the Patriots this season. The league is watching. Cam Newton is only on a one-year deal in New England. This is it. This is it. He has got 16 games, one season, to prove that he is still Superman, to prove that he is still a franchise quarterback, to prove that he still has what it takes to be the face of a franchise. If he can't win with the greatest coach in the history of the NFL in a top-tier organization, then his starting days in the NFL are over. That being said, I can say with 100% confidence that it's going to work out for Cam Newton in New England. However, there are a lot of people that don't share my belief. There are a lot of skeptics out there. There's a lot of people who believe that Cam Newton is not a great fit for the Patriots, that his antics will clash with the no-nonsense style of Bill Belichick. We are going to disprove a lot of that skepticism right now. I'll say it again. This is a win-win for both Cam Newton and the Patriots. New England is getting a former number one draft pick, a former league MVP, on a guaranteed salary of about $500,000. That is cheap. Now, there are kickers in the NFL that are making more money than Cam Newton's making right now. Now, with incentives and roster bonuses, stuff like that, he has the chance to make about $7.5 million, but he is only guaranteed $500,000 for 2020. This is a win for Cam Newton because it gives him a chance to revive his career. It gives him a chance to go through a full training camp, not just get signed mid-season somewhere because a team's starting quarterback is lost for the year due to injury, which he would be completely unprepared in that scenario. And he was staring at that scenario had the Patriots not signed him. There was real risk that he was not going to have a job going into this season. People criticizing him for accepting the veterans minimum, saying that he's worth more money than that. It's disrespectful that Cam Newton is being paid only $500,000 guaranteed. None of that matters. That's not the point. At this point, Cam Newton had to take what he could get. He had no leverage, and there's nothing wrong with that. He hasn't had a great season since 2015. There wasn't a team in the league that was going to give him $10, $20 million this year. He finally came to that realization, and he seems at peace with his decision. The skeptics, though, they are still out there, which, if you think about it, is predictable. You are always going to have doubters. My favorite criticism that I've seen regarding Cam Newton heading to the Patriots is that he doesn't fit the Patriots system. He doesn't fit the offensive scheme. Excuse me? Have people forgotten who the head coach is in New England? A guy named Bill Belichick? A guy who time and time again has proven that it doesn't matter who the quarterback is under center. He will find a way to make it work and win. I know this was over a decade ago, but have people forgotten that Bill Belichick led Matt Castle to a 10-5 record after Tom Brady was lost for the season in Week 1? I know the Patriots didn't make the playoffs that year, but under Bill Belichick, Matt Castle had the best season of his NFL career. What about that time back in 2016 when Tom Brady was suspended the first 4 games of the season for one of the Patriots' many cheating scandals? I can't remember which one it was off the top of my head. I think it might have been Deflategate, but that doesn't really matter to the point I'm making. Tom Brady's out, first 4 weeks of the year. Bill Belichick leads the Patriots to a 3-1 start with a combination of Jimmy Garoppolo and Jacoby Brissett. So, adjusting the offensive scheme around the strengths of his personnel, mainly at the quarterback position, is what Bill Belichick has been doing for the past 20 years. So, what makes people think that he won't be able to do the same thing with Cam Newton? Oh, Belichick has never coached a dual-threat quarterback before. Who cares? He has proven his resiliency and ability to change on the fly. Why are we doubting him now? Going into that 2016 season that I just mentioned, he knew that Jimmy Garoppolo was going to be his starter the first 4 weeks of the year. They had all of training camp, all of preseason to build the offense around him. What happens? Jimmy G goes down with a shoulder injury in week 2. Now Bill Belichick is working with the number 3 quarterback on the roster in Jacoby Brissett. Patriots still end up 2-1 in those 3 games. This misconception of Cam Newton not fitting the system in New England is a ridiculous assertion. Never doubt Bill Belichick. And don't doubt Cam Newton either. I don't understand the people doubting Cam Newton. He is an experienced quarterback that can read defenses at the line of scrimmage. He will have a full training camp to learn the intricacies and the terminology of the Patriots system. The scheme is not going to be a problem for him with the Patriots. Clay Travis with Fox Sports, he proclaimed the other day that Cam Newton will fail in New England because he hasn't had a good year since the 2015 season. He won't have the offensive personnel in New England that he had in Carolina. There's no Christian McCaffrey, no Greg Olsen, no Steve Smith. He also claimed that the Patriots' defense is getting older. They're aging. So Cam Newton won't be able to rely on the New England defense. Then he made the proclamation that Cam Newton is the equivalent to Tyrod Taylor, at least the past few seasons, and that Tyrod Taylor has actually been better than Cam Newton since 2015. I don't even know where to begin with this. Clay Travis makes a very weak case against Cam Newton. He's right about one thing. The weapons in New England are less than what he had in Carolina in the later years, the past couple of years. But if you go back to the 2015 season, the year that Cam Newton led the Panthers to 15-1, led them to the Super Bowl, he was the MVP. There was no Christian McCaffrey on that roster. There was no Steve Smith. His starting wide receivers were Ted Ginn and Corey Brown. Starting running back was Jonathan Stewart. He didn't have a 1,000-yard rusher on the roster. He had a 1,000-yard receiver. Claiming that Tyrod Taylor has been a better quarterback than Cam Newton the past 3 or 4 years is the definition of insanity. Cam Newton's been devastated by injuries since that Super Bowl run. And he's still been better than Tyrod Taylor. 2016, he took a brutal hit in October, caused a concussion. He eventually tore his rotator cuff that season. We all know that he was battling through injuries the entire 2018 season. Missed damn near all of last season due to injury. But the one season Cam Newton was 100% healthy, 2017, what happened? Carolina went 11-5, made the playoffs. The notion that the Patriots' defense is aging is a moot point. Last time I checked, New England had the number 1 defense in the league last year. Last time I checked, Bill Belichick was still on the sidelines wearing his hoodie. Since 2000, Bill Belichick's first year in New England, do you know how many times the Patriots have not had a top 10 defense? 4. 4 times out of 20 years. 9 of the past 10 years, New England has been in the top 10 defensively. Twice number 1. 3 times in the top 5. Yeah, I don't care if the Patriots defense is aging. We've heard this claim before. The defense is not going to be a problem. Last but not least, and this is one of my favorites, the age-old adage that Cam Newton isn't a leader. I don't know where this idea started. It really gained steam after the Super Bowl loss when people started to criticize Cam's demeanor after the game. And it has been a hot topic on national sports shows ever since. Now, is Cam Newton emotional at times on the sidelines? Yes. Does he get visibly frustrated and pissed off? Yes. To me, that just shows he cares. Look, media pundits, fans, guys like me and you, we can't speak to the leadership ability of Cam Newton because we aren't in the locker room. We aren't with him every day. Check out what Greg Olsen, who played with Cam Newton the majority of his career, had to say about the leadership abilities when asked about it before the 2017 season. Here's what he said about Cam Newton's leadership abilities. Quote, "This has been a storyline that has been circulating since he's come into the league. It's really become an exhausting storyline. Guys enjoy saying it on the national level because it's a hot take, something that garners a lot of headlines and reaction. But there's not a lot of substance behind it. I don't even know if it deserves attention at all for what Cam has accomplished, where we've come as an organization since we drafted him. I think all of that speaks for itself, for what he's done for this organization, putting it on the map nationally. It's exhausting hearing this narrative circulated year in and year out. Around the locker room, it is a storyline that's not given much credibility." End quote. Basically, Greg Olsen is saying it, I'm not even going to defend Cam Newton with this question because it is a dumb question to ask. Obviously, Cam Newton's a good leader. Look at what he's accomplished all of his time in Carolina. Christian McCaffrey has also come out publicly to the defense of Cam Newton on numerous occasions and said that he was a great leader in the locker room. If you don't believe those two guys, go watch the docuseries All or Nothing that is on Amazon Prime. They followed the Panthers through the 2018 season multiple times throughout the documentary. And it's a great documentary. You really should go check it out. But multiple times throughout it, you see a side of Cam Newton that you never see or hear about in the media. He was instrumental in getting safety Eric Reid signed in Carolina. You see him consoling DJ Moore after 2 costly fumbles against Washington. He did the same thing with Devin Funchess after he had a terrible game against the Lions. Even after Cam Newton was lost for that season due to injury, he is in the quarterback room prepping his backup, helping him game plan against the Falcons. And the Panthers were out of playoff contention at that point. The notion that Cam Newton is a poor leader is media-driven garbage. Not to mention the fact that he is walking into a veteran locker room in New England. He is not entering a situation where he's going to be tasked with leading a young team. Cam Newton is going to be just fine with the Patriots. I think he's going to be comeback player of the year. I don't know if he's going to be the starter week 1. Like I said the other day, Jarrett Stidham is more familiar with the offense in New England. But Bill Belichick didn't bring in Cam Newton to sit on the sidelines with a clipboard in his hand. He is going to be the starting quarterback eventually. It could be week 1, but if it isn't, there's not a doubt in my mind that he will be the starting quarterback in New England come October. All right, that's all for today. If you like this video, hit that like and subscribe button for me. I post videos on here 5-6 days a week covering the NFL, the NBA, other hot topics that come up in sports. Make sure to click the notification bell so you receive all notifications from the channel. Leave me a comment in the section below. Do you think Cam Newton will succeed in New England, or is it going to be a repeat of his last 2 years in Carolina, where he's plagued by injuries, not making the playoffs. Let me know your thoughts. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. If you have any questions for me or a topic that you want me to cover, you can email me at BTLKC84@gmail.com. I will see you guys next time.